Brooks interview that had Jimmy interviewing Jerry. And we all watched that on Thursday, then again on Sunday. But a lot of us didn't know that the current Cowboys head coach did an interview with Jerry for television as well. Dave Campos sat down with the owner and GM, and let's listen to the raw footage from this interview that was done a week or two ago.
We're ready to do this, sitting, Dave. Dave, how are you? Come in. Sit down.
Hey, good to see you there. Well, sit over here. Sit over here. Fine.
Please.
Hope you don't mind. I know you did this with Jimmy this week. Hope you don't mind doing it with me.
No, it's certainly a pleasure to talk to you. I know we haven't talked in some time.
No, we haven't. We haven't had much contact lately.
Can I ask you what this is for, Dave?
Well, let's just say it's not for Fox.
Right.
This is for Dallas Cable Access.
Oh, God. Why are you wasting my time?
Well, it's a show I do. You know, you really don't let me. Well, it's my show. It's called Football is a Game That is Played on the Field in a Game.
Well,
That's the
sounds
name
like
of
a
the
real
show.
high-tech operation. All right, let's just get it over
Well, they
with.
wanted me to talk to you. They thought it'd
Just
boost the
let's
ratings
get it
a
over
little.
with.
Okay.
Come on. Are we
let's
rolling?
see.
Are these guys rolling?
Okay, we ready? What's the, Jerry, what would you say is the main difference between me and you?
Candidly, I'm a winner, and you're not. And your combined record, candidly, Dave, is 15 and 28.
Not all my fault.
Now that's a lot like Cincinnati. I think that you've proved that you're not so much of a head coach as maybe a more a guy who could probably clean up around the locker room, something along those lines.
All right, I've proven myself as a coach in this league. And speaking of Cincinnati, why'd you hire Cosley?
Candidly, I didn't want to hire him. I had met with him because of an interview that was set up by a mutual friend. And I said to him, due to his smell, that he was the most offensive coordinator I've ever interviewed.
Yeah, me too.
He took that to mean I hired him to be the offensive coordinator. And so that's how that happened.
So he's not even supposed to be here?
Well, I keep telling Steven it's on Steven's to-do list to get rid of him and explain the misunderstanding.
Hey,
You're
here's
what?
one that here's one that got emailed into us. This is a question from our viewing audience. When are you going to fire Jerry, the GM?
Oh, boy, that's a real original question and comment there, isn't it? Boy, that's, candidly, I tell you what, I will fire myself tonight and hire myself in the morning and masturbate in between, all right?
Okay, that's fine.
I know you're going to edit that out, and I'm glad you're going to edit that out because it's a stupid question.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. What do you miss most about the Super Bowl winning years with the Cowboys?
Candidly?
Yeah.
My old face. I thought my old face was a good luck charm.
Really?
I did.
Interesting.
Truly did.
Okay.
Truly did.
One more for you. What's the loudest fart you've ever cut?
Candidly?
Yeah.
This one right here.
Thanks for the time, Jerry.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Well, there you have it. That was exclusive.
That's so wrong.
We're very sorry for that tragic ending yesterday. Very, very sorry. It is 6:45 here on Sports Radio 1310. The Ticket. Speaking of the Cowboys, coming up next, what to do about Emmett.
To win, register at DallasStars.com or any participating Nextel retail store or authorized representative today. One-year agreement, account setup fee, and other charges and restrictions apply. Phones by Motorola.
A guy talking about the Love Connection. They're going to air it
Oh, yeah. I just answered that.
on the Game Show Network in January.
Yeah, I just read that today.
The Jimmy episode?
Well, the guy wants to know what year Jimmy's appearance was so he can try and TiVo the Jimmy episode. It's going to start airing. They're going to air every episode ever, I guess.
Yeah, that's what Mike and Irving said. And
it was on from 83 to 94,
Yep.
and you were on there as a contestant.
Yeah, and it was like 13. It was in 89, so it would have been 13 years ago. Right around this time, I went as a chosen.
What a great episode, man.
And it was on in January of 90, so it might be on.
You know, we have a P1 who works at the Game Show Network.
Really?
Yeah, we do. I haven't kept his email address, but he's probably out there because he's emailed me several times offering us gear and whatnot from the Game Show Network.
Where is it? Like I would think it'd be in L.A. or
See, I don't know. I don't know. But the fact is the guy's identified himself as an employee, and I would assume if we could give him the episode that we have in mind, the Jimmy Christopher episode where he starred on The Love Connection and then ended up in a slap fight with the girl he dated, as I recall.
Yeah, it was a slap fight.
We could probably get that aired at our convenience.
I
would
outslapped
think.
her. I outslapped her, Bob.
Jimmy did not score.
No.
That'd be some good audio to play again someday.
Wow, you actually got into a fight with the girl?
Well, yeah, because it wasn't a match.
It was like...
Well, yeah, you don't get along with somebody. Sure, you say goodnight and
You
go
know
on
what
with your life. You don't get into a fight.
You know what it was, Tom?
What?
It was exactly like Paulie Walnuts choking Ginny on, or Minnie on The Sopranos the other night. That's exactly how it ended.
That's beautiful.
It ended with a pillow on her face and just suffocating her and the whole thing.
Any good date does.
All right, we are at the Valley Ranch Stars Center. We are informed that we will be joined by a couple stars.
Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri are the 4 states in this country.
How are you spelling that? Just say nation. I'm more
in this
comfortable with
nation where you where it's just outlawed between people of the same sex. And interestingly enough, those are all Big 12 states.
That is interesting. So the Big 12 is kind of making a stand here.
It's kind of a sports thing.
Yeah. While the SEC,
they don't
Louisiana,
care.
Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, they're against it with anyone, between any 2 people.
The question for the justices is whether the law that targets behavior by same-sex couples violates the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection under the law. Or under each other.
Looks like it's all right in Big Ten country. Yep, you're free and clear there.
So what do you think, George? Do you think gay people have the right to have anal sex?
Well, that's kind of a graphic question.
Well, I mean,
Gordo.
it's an issue that's the Supreme Court is reviewing
It's in
right
the
now.
USA Today.
Yeah, I think if that's what they want to do, then that's, I don't think it... I mean, what are you going to do, go door to door and bust them?
Well, if you do,
Pass.
if you do catch them having that, do you turn them in?
If I do personally, no, I don't think I'd turn them in.
Will you just watch?
Yeah, probably. Check it out for a while. I was kind of looking forward to it.
Well,
Mark that.
Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas have suggested they would probably uphold a ban on sodomy.
Just a little, quality man love, that's all.
But David Souter, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Stephen Breyer say they love gay sex.
Yeah.
We're going to jam this sucker down their throat.
And also Norm has spoken out on the issue.
Okay.
I feel better now.
Okay, good, Norm.
In other gay news,
Clean the hole out.
hold on, Norm.
Norm.
Frequent mountain biking may reduce fertility in men. Watch out.
All right, Gordo, thank you. That was very interesting. It is 6:41 on Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket. Well, the State Fair of Texas is going on. Of course, a lot of people, or sports fans, will attend the fair this weekend for the big OU Texas game. And when you walk into the fairgrounds, the first person you see standing there is the 40, 50-foot high figure of Big Tex, and we had Big Tex on the show yesterday.
Listen for the awkward chemistry
Good
at the
morning,
beginning.
Big Tex.
Howdy, folks. Good to be on with you.
Well, it's good to have you on again. How's everything at the State Fair these days?
Things are going quite well.
Except for the weather, I guess, huh?
We run into a spot of bad weather.
That's too bad. So what are you doing about that weather? Just standing in it?
What else can I do? That's all I ever do is stand here.
Right.
With my big stupid hat on. A lot of changes in Big Tex this year.
Really?
Oh, like what?
Well, I got divorced.
Oh, no, I didn't know you were married.
Miss Tex left me for the gorilla that hangs on a fine Chevrolet. I think she got tired of my top-heavy build.
Oh, you are top-heavy.
So I've been a little depressed this year.
Well, we're sorry, Big Tex. Sorry to hear about
Last
that.
night, I busted into a liquor store
Oh, gosh.
How did that happen?
with a crowbar.
I didn't know you could walk around the streets of Dallas. I thought you were pretty much just stationary there.
That's okay. I'll find another woman. They don't call me Big Tex for nothing. At the end of the fair, I'm going to pull my dickies down.
Oh, my God.
And show the world my talent.
What's that?
When you have a dingus 2 stories tall, you want to show it off.
I don't know if I'll be there for that or not.
I'm getting ready for the big battle this weekend.
Oh, yeah, Texas OU.
Oh, I forgot about that. I was talking about the restraining order I'm fighting in Roanoke. This little tramp won't return my Springsteen albums.
That's weird. Well, what's I know being Big Tex has to be a beating. What's the biggest beating about being Big Tex?
Spending the night in Fair Park. It's a freaking war zone down here.
Yeah, that does sound a little dangerous.
To feel safer, I went ahead and got my permit.
Oh, you're packing?
Yes.
Well, that sounds dangerous with all the fair goers. I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Did you know? Oh.
Whoa, where'd everyone go?
My crowd left. Hold on.
They all stopped. It's like an E.F. Hutton commercial. They want to hear Big Tex talk.
Right.
Hello, folks. How are you? Come on in. Come on into the State Fair of Texas.
Do we know what?
I'm talking to the musers right now. Did you know it's Hispanic Heritage Month?
No, I didn't know that.
It sure is, and apparently they've all come to the State Fair to celebrate.
Well, that's good. That's a good
Family
place to go.
Time to trade in the turkey legs for burritos on a stick.
All right. Well, I guess that could be one item you could have.
Question for you, Giorgio.
Oh, sure. Big Tex, go right ahead.
Why don't white people come to the fair anymore?
Well, they do. White people go to the fair all the time. In fact,
I may be a little old-fashioned, but I'd like to see some white trash around here once again.
Well, I'm sure you will. In fact, I'm thinking about bringing my family down.
Please come down, Giorgio.
What can we look forward to down there?
Well, same thing I guess I look forward to. Day after day, it's either the Million Man March or a Paul Rodriguez concert.
Oh, my gosh. Big Tex. Come on now.
I'm old-fashioned.
I know you're old-fashioned, but come on.
No, I'm teasing, of course.
Everyone's welcomed at the State Fair.
That's right. And there's a lot to look forward to at the State Fair of Texas.
Right. Like what?
Horses.
Yeah.
Questionable rides. Salmonella. Pockmarked carnies. We've got it all.
Oh, they don't want you promoting that.
I've got to get back to work.
Okay.
We've got a whole load of people coming in. Howdy, folks. The Tejano Tortilla Ride is over there. Step right in.
Well, that's Big Tex joining us from the State Fair of Texas.
There he is, Big Tex. Be sure and say hello to him. When you go to the fair, tell him you heard about him on the Dunham and Miller Show.
Ricky Spagnola with the Ranch Report. It's 8:41 here on Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket. And yes, joining us now on the Dunham and Miller Show is the owner and general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, a day early for his weekly visit. It's Jerry Jones. Good morning, Jerry.
Hi, good morning.
Well, we didn't get much in the way of post-game comments from you yesterday, so we thought we'd get you on today. Are you still as mad as you appeared yesterday?
You damn right I am.
Okay. Yeah, the only quote you had yesterday contained 2 F-bombs, and again, we're on live radio here, so if you could keep the cussing to a minimum.
Well, first of all, I'm tired of this bullshit. We suck. We played like a bunch of hoes. We should have won. We had it in the bag, and I am hopping mad. Well, I'm gonna fire everyone. Dave Campo, out. Bruce Coslett, out. Dat Wynn, out. Alyssa Etheridge, out.
What?
She's not on the team.
But she's out, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, she is out.
All right, your quote yesterday was, quote, that was a stupid blanking ball game. The players
I said that's what I said.
The players played well enough to win. We blanked it up.
Yeah, we it up.
Now, are you saying the coaching staff, who blanked it up?
Well, I would think, George, that I'm talking about the coaching staff.
Okay, well, I didn't know. You said we, and you're not the coach of the
Well,
owner.
and you're not exonerated either. I heard what you said about Emmitt Smith scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, all them cheeseburgers you ate made your brain so fat it's pushing on your skull, gay boy.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, come
Why don't
on.
you pull your head out of your and watch the game?
Hey, come on. We're humans. We make mistakes.
Well, today is firing day. Billy Cundiff, fired. Rowdy, fired.
Good.
Crazy Ray, kicked to the curb. Joe Avasano, demoted to lawn care.
Wow.
That was the most pathetic mother game I've ever viewed from beneath the awning of my hairpiece.
From what?
The awning.
George,
Yep.
what was I thinking? Why did I leave the oil business? I was so good at raping the earth of its natural resources. Why did I buy this team?
Well, because you wanted to compete in the professional football arena.
Is that it? Is that it, George?
Yeah.
You think so? Well, you, man.
Hey, come on.
Jerry.
I'm just trying to help out here.
Let's review my tenure here as Cowboys football man, okay?
All right.
I ran off Jimmy Johnson, hired Byron Switzer, fired Byron Switzer, hired Chan Gailey, fired Chan Gailey, promoted Dave Campo, drafted Shante Carver, David LaFleur, Ebenezer Echabon, Dwayne Goodrich, Kavika Pittman, and Quincy Carter. Got a hairpiece, an eye lift, a face tuck, and a speeding ticket in Highland Park, and Dan near landed me in jail. I had a coach, took a gun through an airport. I had players running a whorehouse while I failed to clean house. I just sat back and watched it all. We had cocaine, Mary Jane, and I was insane to refrain from cutting their asses. I just sat back and watched it all. Playmaker becomes a haymaker, went through a trial, banged sluts, and made us the butts of every comedian's jokes. And I sat back and just watched it all happen.
Yeah.
I watched America's team become America's most wanted. Eric Williams plows them to a retaining wall, and I just watch it. I watch us fall rung by rung down the NFL ladder until now. We have a perennial coordinator at head.
We're going to have to dump that.
Well, I had to dump that F-bomb.
Our beat machine didn't catch it in time.
Well, it's come high time, boys.
Yep. For
High
what?
time.
For what?
Well, you know, for the past few years, I've worn two hairpieces, GM and owner.
You could just say two hats.
Now it's time to blow off my GM hairpiece.
Whoa. I hope that was a symbolic blowing off of the
that's all it
GM
was. It's
hairpiece.
just shtick.
Wow.
Well, he is mad. And the real Jerry Jones has said several times this is the most disappointing season since he's owned the Cowboys starting in 1989. We'll review that statement next.
All right, we have fun with real audio. Is that what this is?
Explosive fun with real audio. We have 4 pieces of actual ticket audio that needs to be reviewed. Because each piece contains a thread that is wacky, wacky, wacky. We will start with you, Mike Reiner.
Okay.
For you, last week had a let's make a whole weekend out of that weekend moment.
Boy, it sure did.
I want to make a whole weekend out of that weekend. I still stand by that.
As you're doing,
Well, I stand by this, too.
Stand by that.
as you're doing your AutoFlex live spot, everything seems to be going well. Seems to be going swimmingly. You're flowing through it nicely, making good copy points. I'm sure the sponsors are very proud and very happy to have you as a spokesperson.
So it was going really well, huh?
Oh yeah, everything was going great, and then you just kind of lost it.
25, 30, 35, maybe even 40%. And you pay for the car only as long as you keep it. And when you're ready to turn it in and get something new, do it. That's the way leasing works. And, of course, there is no personal property tax when you lease. Those are just a few of the advantages that I have found in my own personal experience with AutoFlex.
Right here.
You may find others, but how are you going to call unless you make that call? 2, 3, 4, 1.
What does that mean?
But how are you going to call unless you make that call?
I think you meant to say, how are you going to know unless you make that call?
You know, it seems extremely illogical yet it is logical. It is true.
Oh, yeah,
How are you?
How are you going to call?
Think about it. How are you going to call unless you make that call?
Make that call.
Right. See, I knew exactly where I was going with
You
that.
had no idea.
It sounds so wacky by itself. Play it by itself.
But how are you going to call unless you make that call? Yeah, after I said unless you, I realized what deep doo-doo I'd gotten into. but I decided
Make
to
a
just...
whole weekend out of that weekend.
But I decided to just plow forth with it. Just go for it and see where it got me, and now here it is.
That's genius.
Isn't it wonderful when you back yourself into a verbal corner and you know it, and you just try to fight through it and hope that nobody heard it, you know?
That's impossible, let me tell you.
Oh, I know. I know.
Because if you guys don't catch it, some squealing P1 will email one of you guys.
True.
Which is probably what happened here.
No, you know what happened is that drop kid during the 2-minute drill
Oh, yeah.
said something, alerted us to it. Yeah.
Oh,
So I was
see?
like, what? Yeah, we didn't catch it.
Oh, so it was him.
Yeah, we weren't paying attention to
Telling
Reiner's
you,
live spot.
You can't get anything past the P1.
I know.
It's going to be an
But how are you going to call unless you make that call?
It's going to be an add-on to the operators are standing by, and how are you going to call unless you make that call?
Wow. All right, there's number one. Number two.
I'm going to vote for number one right now.
There's no voting.
Why? We got to
voting.
vote on everything.
No, we're not voting on this.
I'm going to wait until we hear all of them before I vote.
Okay. All right.
This is number two.
What does it take to get Big Greg pissed?
Oh, man.
How far do you have to push that envelope before Big Greg flies off the handle and starts using curse words on the air? Not accidentally, but very much on
because
purpose.
most of the time I don't have a short fuse.
No, you don't. But you did here. This was...
Did I?
This was actually the same show as You Better Make That Call If You're Going to Call, or whatever you said. This is about 20 minutes prior to that. Maybe that's
How
what
are
threw
you
you
going
off.
to call
Yeah.
unless you make that call?
And we were taking Maverick phone calls as Maverick operators were standing by. And one phone caller just had it in for Grego.
Let's go. Shoo! Casey in Little Elm. You're on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
What's up, Reiner? Hey, it's about compatibility on that team. You're bagging on Scottie Pippen. He still has a little bit, but he's getting up there in age. But in his day, he was I would say one of the 50th greatest players.
Well, you know what? When Mike wasn't there, he was ordinary.
Shut up, Grego. I'm talking to Reiner. But it's
what?
Whoa! You don't tell Grego to shut up.
Man, I'm talking.
What the
to
hell
you,
is the
Reiner.
matter with you?
Man, Grego can't even dribble a basketball.
Well, neither can I.
Well, you probably could in your day. Grego, he's too busy putting down the beers or something, riding around on his hog. But anyway, it's like Daryl
What an ass you are. And I mean that.
Dude, you don't tell Grego to shut up.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Just what I said it was. An ass.
Let's go.
So knowing that we were out of delay, you decided to issue it again.
Yeah.
I barely had enough to get that second one, and I was screaming in his ear, quit it!
The double A-hole.
Hey, I lost
You guys
it.
are on remote, too. It's some
yes.
movie trading
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
Right.
I lost it.
Here are these people shopping for Christmas films and stuff, and It's a Wonderful Life, and here's Grego saying a-hole at the top of his lungs. All right, this next one could be the most shocking of them all, because it comes from a guy you wouldn't expect this to happen on his show. Norm Hitchkis. Norm. Right. Who does the 10 to noon slot here on the station. Norm is interviewing Don Nelson, and something emitted from Norm. And I'm assuming the only mic that was on was Norm, and then he was talking to Don Nelson. So those are the only two people that possibly could be heard. Now listen closely, because this happens very fast. But Norm has an audible burp on the air. Okay?
Norm burps on the air?
Norm burps, and it's accidental. It's obvious. It was one of those that just shot through the trachea and just kind of maybe went out his nose or something. But it made this awful sound, and it's underneath Don Nelson talking.
Everybody's together on the same page. We do a lot of good things. You know, we're not some super team or anything, but we do a lot of good things. We're a good team, and that's really about where it's at.
How much does the fact that...
Now, there's no question.
Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could hear it.
There's no question that's a burp. And like I said, it's got to be Norm. Norm burped on the air.
That wasn't one of those that jumps out of your throat.
That right there was elongated.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play it
It
again.
wasn't Frito? You're sure it wasn't Frito?
No way. No way. Play it again.
Everybody's together on the same page. We do a lot of good things. You know, we're not some super team or anything, but we do a lot of good things. We're a good team, and that's really about where it's at.
How much does the fact that this...
Well, I hope the masses out there in their cars can hear that.
Well, we isolated it.
No, that's not isolated. But this is actually isolated, and it's very short.
But we do.
Can you hear that?
But we do.
You can hear it underneath. Play it again.
But we do.
And again.
But we do.
I mean, it's there. Norm burped.
It's there. There's no question about it.
Norm burped on the air.
Well, you farted on the air.
True, Snake.
Well, kind of expect that out of us, but not Norm.
It's true.
Gordo.
And finally,
Oh, God.
this past Friday, the ultimate of all meltdowns happened. When we tried to carry the John Hart, I don't even know what phone conference?
It's a conference call.
A conference call.
The John Hart conference
They don't
call.
do press conferences out there.
And without question, this is going to win the emergency break of the week. But we have to call attention to it prior because we have to play pretty much the thing in its entirety. This is a couple of minutes long, and it just gets worse and worse. John Hart, this is after they signed Einer Diaz, traded for him.
They traded for him.
Traded for
All right,
Einer
now,
Diaz.
Let me explain to everybody what was going on here. We were going to carry this conference call, and on the line are a number of the baseball writers. TR was on, Jerry Fraley was on, there were one or two other ones who were on, and my scene in this was to get on there and ask some questions. So we were at Hooters that day, Hooters in Arlington. I was trying to call from there, and I guess my phone was capturing too much ambient noise, and I didn't know how to mute it because it wasn't my phone. It was Chris's, the engineer's. So that's what I was hearing. Finally, I went outside and, tried to get it up and running from out there. So I really don't have any idea what you boys
But even when you hung up, it was still bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was awful. It wasn't our fault that this press conference went so bad. But before this even came on the air, they were setting it all up, and we were hearing everything in the studio in queue of what was going on. All right, and we could hear John Blake, the Rangers PR guy, screaming, saying, Reiner, get off the phone. Get off the damn phone.
You're running the press conference for everybody.
Yeah, because you could hear Hooters in the background. So he wanted you to go outside, which you eventually did.
Yeah.
But even when you went outside, it still
It wasn't your fault.
was shot to holy hell. Something was wrong with John Hart's phone line, but no one knew it. Everyone thought it was either our fault or someone else's fault. So you'll hear John Hart start to talk about the trade, and then everything just shoots to holy hell. And the only reason we carried this, the only reason, is because we wanted somebody to ask the question, we wanted Reiner to ask the question, what does this do for Pudge Rodriguez, right?
Right.
That's why we were running it. For him to say, all right, we were severing ties from him, basically. That's all we wanted out of this. Well, Jerry Fraley gets the question out, and then it never gets answered. It gets asked like 3 times, but John Hart can't figure out what's going on. The line is awful, and it is just utter chaos. This is the most chaotic 2.5 minutes this radio station has ever seen.
A youngster that we think is going to fit in with our Colby Lewis and Benoit, Blowski, Doug Davis. That is going to be a part of where we're going. Also has options, but is going to be given a chance to Carter. Obviously, we don't like to trade any of our youngsters. It's always tough to do it, but when you're bringing young players back, we think this was a very good deal. And we think our ball club is better today, really better today than it was yesterday.
There's Reiner.
This is very tough to talk and have any kind of continuity with all this back.
There's Reiner.
John, it's Jerry Fairley. Can you hear me?
Yes, I've got you, Jerry.
John, if I might ask a question, please, what does this do for Ivan Rodriguez's situation with your club?
Pudge is a...
My. If John Hart is talking, I can't hear him.
Are those birds in the background?
Well, yeah, I was outside.
Blake?
Is John Hart answering that question?
Yeah, John, it's very difficult to hear.
I understand. I'm trying to get them.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the question. If you could repeat the question.
Yeah, sure, John. I just want to ask, does this mean Pudge Rodriguez is done with the Rangers?
There's twice.
I'm really struggling to... John Blake, there's just so much background noise, I can't hear the question.
You're listening
John Hart, PR, the question is Pudge Rodriguez done with the Rangers?
We don't know what's going on here. It's 5:37. Let's just take it to a break cycle. This is failing so horribly, and we'll return with Mickey Spagnola.
Wow.
Is that not as bad?
My God.
That sounds like a Saturday Night Live guy.
Well, you could obviously tell.
You got TR over there going, I can't hear the question. I can't hear the answer if he's talking.
There was no background noise whatsoever at certain points in there. Even though there was a claim that there was background noise, there was no background noise. And the phone was on speakerphone. And that happens when you're on speakerphone, that your sentences cut in and out. Because you're talking and there's noise coming in at the same time, and his was obviously cutting out.
Well, they told me Hart was on a cell phone in Florida. That he was on his cell phone down there.
That was a speakerphone.
Sounded like a speakerphone to me.
I think that was
it did to me, too.
And the worst part about it was that's the only reason we carried it is to get the Pudge question answered.
And right when it gets asked for the third time, the thing gets shut off.
Yeah.
Because John Blake is screaming at me to bail out. Because it was the ticket's fault.
According to him.
Yeah,
But then we realized once we did hang up, they still had the same exact problems. Nothing went right that whole press conference. Or conference call.
Well, they ought to do press conferences like everybody else. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
What's wrong with the way things have always been done around here? Why do you change what don't need to change?
Or the way every other team does things.
Well, that is your fun with real live audio.
I'm changing my vote to number 4.
Oh, we're not voting.
So I'm going to vote for 4, too.
I'm voting for number 1.
You said we weren't voting.
Oh, that's right.
What are you voting for, Kevin?
Take my vote
Give me number 1, man. That was great. But how are you going to make that call unless you make that call?
But how are you going to call unless you make that call?
Oh, my.
All right. The Ranch Report with Mickey Spagnola is next here on the ticket.
The star of this show. Good point. What happened, hon? Obviously, he was the one selected, not me. So.
Because tomorrow night he has to leave a little bit early because he's participating in
cow milking or some such.
Yeah, something out in Fort Worth at the rodeo or stockyards.
Yes, cutting horse or oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Something like that.
Is he going to ride a horse? He is?
Yeah, he's going to ride a cutting horse, I think.
God, I'd love to see that.
Well.
Not bad enough to
P1 video?
Not bad enough to go, but it does interest me.
Yeah, it interests me too. P1 video, perhaps?
Perhaps. He says he's riding with Mel Blount.
Yes, the former Steeler great. Well, I guess that leaves us, Cobra. Nothing to do except a little bit more except a little bit more e-news.
Yes.
So here with this U.S. Open update is Cobra.
Now, we all know that George Harrison is dead. George Harrison, for those who don't know, was a Beatle. One of the Fab Four, as they were known as back in the 60s, Mike.
Now, that was his band before the Traveling Wilburys, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is before he did I Got My Mind Set on You.
Right.
And it's a posthumous release.
Yes.
And I guess it just came out last week. Rolling Stone said it was decent. Scooter Strong said it was okay.
What does that tell you?
Holy crap. Gave the bone. But we've obtained a copy of his latest album, and we're going to listen to a couple of cuts. Now, you have to remember that his good buddies, especially in the world of music, were Jeff Lynne
of ELO,
and Tom Petty.
Right.
Yeah, and Eric Clapton and he were good buddies too. But he's very influenced by Jeff Lynne. So let's take a listen to the lead cut, Any Road, off his new album, which is called All Things Must Pass. Oh, Brainwashed. This is Any Road.
Give me plenty of that guitar.
Traveling on a boat, on a plane, in a car, on a bike, with a bus, on a train. Traveling there, traveling here, everywhere, in every gear. But all along, we pay the price with the spin of a wheel, with the roll of the dice. Ah, yeah, you pay your fare, and if you don't know where you're going, that road will take you there.
Enough of that. That absolutely sucks.
Well, I had very little.
Yeah? Now, can he use the I got stabbed 6 weeks before I sang that song excuse?
Perhaps.
Or perhaps I'm dying of cancer?
Maybe that.
One of those two would probably work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's listen to another one called Run So Far off George Harrison's Brainwashed.
A little bit. You know what, though? I think by that point, that poor guy was just out of everything.
Probably.
Even the great Jeff Lynne couldn't pull it out for him.
Boy, it does sound ELO-y,
it sounds very ELO.
It sounds like his voice died about 6 months before he did.
Could have.
That's Jeff Lynne for you, though. I think the force of his personality and his wizardry is so strong that without intending to, he takes over everything he's involved with.
Probably so. Probably so. Were you a fan of Harrison's solo stuff?
Some of it. Some of it. Not all of it. Some of it.
You know, it just kind of fell along the Beatle food chain. Like, I mean, even how the band was, because Lennon's stuff was received really well critically, his solo stuff. McCartney's stuff was and Harrison's was just kind of out there. You know?
I was not a real big fan of the John Lennon solo stuff either.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but why did critics love it? Just because it was John Lennon?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I didn't think that Double Fantasy was that great.
No, I didn't either. I mean, a lot of it sounded to me like he was just doodling, you know?
Yeah. But Danny, you love all that John Lennon stuff, don't you?
Yeah, the first Plastic Ono record is one of my favorite albums for sure. And Double Fantasy's great if you just eliminate the Yoko crap.
You know what? I have to go with Paul McCartney as far as, well, his second project, because I love Wings.
I do too. I've always been just a sucker for him. I mean, he can put out something that's cheesy and idiotic, and I know I shouldn't like it, but I just get sucked into it.
Even in the Beatle days, did you like his stuff better than Lennon?
No, not really.
So I like Lennon's way more than his.
Yeah, I like Lennon's Beatles stuff better than his. It was a lot edgier, had a lot more to it.
All right, let's talk about a reality show that's gonna, I guess it's gonna start in January, and Gregor alerted us to this. And I saw an ad for it running during the Cowboy game. Or maybe, I think it was the Thanksgiving game. And it was called Joe Millionaire. Did you see the ads for this? And
Yes.
They showed some huge castle with all these hot women.
Yes, I've seen the ads for this. Now, let me just issue a quick positioning statement. I've never watched so much as 1 iota of The Bachelor or Survivor, or really any of these other shows. I've never watched The Real World. Just go back to whatever the start of this miserable genre was, and I've never watched it. I've never been suckered in by any of this. However, I think the last episode of this one might be worth checking out.
Here's the gist.
It has potential.
It essentially is The Bachelor. They take 25 or 30 women and they take them over to France, this chateau over there. I don't really know. Grego said it was some huge castle that this guy lived in. And it's an elimination process, just like The Bachelor. When each woman gets eliminated, though, instead of getting a rose, she gets this really expensive necklace or some piece of expensive jewelry. And until it comes down to the final person, of course, and then it's the same deal. I'm sure he has the option to propose to her or run away with her or whatever, or live there in the French chateau. But
you know, I've tried to eliminate my wife that way several times, but it hadn't worked out yet.
Roses and jewelry?
Yeah.
I have to. Try chloroform. But here's the snag. At the end, this Joe Millionaire guy, who I don't know if he's supposed to be from France or if he's supposed to be from the States or whatever, have dual citizenship. At the end, when he picks his bride-to-be or whatever, girlfriend, he says to her, you know, hopefully you'll accept this necklace as an offer of our love, our binding love. And by the way, I work over in the States and I make $19,000 a year as a construction worker. Well, so they've led these women on all this time thinking that they were getting ready to be hooked up with one of the richest guys in the world, when in reality, this guy is a construction worker.
He's an average Joe.
And there's thus Joe Millionaire.
Well,
what, Greg?
Grego, what? He what?
Can they be sued for fraud in this somewhere?
I hope so. But I'm with you. I'm not going to watch it until the last episode, but I will be there for that moment. Because they've already shot all this.
Yes.
It's already in the can, so the women had no idea.
Yes, whoever the Frau is that got selected, she already knows all this, right?
Yeah, and I guess they took this guy... Okay, Grego. I guess they took this guy over and trained him for a year on how to be this suave French playboy. I cannot wait to see the look on her face, but...
You'll tune in for a couple of them before because you want to see just how giddy they act. Just how all over him they are.
I'm not really about money. I love this man.
I want to hear comments like that. And you know they're going to show those.
All this is nice, but if you don't have a real relationship with someone, then what do you really have?
And you know what's going to happen at the end when he says, what? What, Greg? What?
Greg's struggling out there.
He really is. Maybe you should leave, Greg. What's going to happen is that woman is just going to respond by saying, you know what, I never knew this man. I knew someone else, and therefore I'm not going to stay with him. There is no way in hell that any woman would stay with this guy.
Why would you?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, now I get it. I see where you're coming from there, Greg. But I'll be into that. I'll be into that.
Yes, I'll be into it too.
And I'm assuming that's
the last episode.
That's the way they're going to position this. I mean,
right.
They're going to have to run a stampede of ads conveying this message, or else people are just going to think it's The Bachelor. Why would you care at all?
No.
And one more little juicy tidbit from the world of J-Lo and Ben Affleck.
Oh.
Yeah, we're about to that point. There's a new book that warns Ben Affleck he better keep J-Lo busy in the bed if their marriage is going to last. Now, we told you yesterday that she made him sign some sort of prenup saying that there's a guarantee in there that they have sex at least 4 times a week.
Right.
So now there's a new book from this guy named Arthur Gordon. He's the author of How to Get All the Girls You Want. He sent an open letter in the book to Ben Affleck informing the star's wife-to-be is a, quote, freak. And I believe a freak in the African-American lingo, that's the type of person who needs to experience new and exciting sex. Who? Who what? He says, this is the type of woman to whom boredom is the worst fate imaginable. He says there will always be one person she loves more than her husband, herself. So, we'll see.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. That's what I just said.
Yeah, we will. Well, we'll see.
We'll see, yes.
Bitch.
Whoa.
Was that you or Greg?
That was not me.
Richard Hunter.
Oh, it was Richard?
Yeah. We were talking about sex, and he just jumped in there real quick.
That figures.
All right.
All right, a little more e-news there for you. It is 6:44. We will gear up for the 2-minute drill, doing so by clearing the lines and reloading accordingly. And we'll see what is going on with our friend Big